A celebrity chef is suing the interior designer he hired to create him the perfect gastropub hotel for nearly £200,000 because the furniture she used was too big. Daniel Clifford, 45, a judge on the BBC's Great British Menu, said he wanted the very best for his baby, village pub The Flitch of Bacon in Little Dungno, Essex. But instead of luxury fittings, he claims John Dawes, 49, got cheap furniture from the homewares supplier and tables which were too big for the restaurant. Chairs in the dining room also broke simply by somebody sitting on them, father of 5 Mr. Clifford insists. The 2 Michelin star chef says he had to tear apart Mrs. Dawes' design and start again within months, and is suing her company for £190,000. But Mrs. Dawes, 49, through her company Joe Francis Ltd, is herself suing the pub, owned by Mr. Clifford, for over £100,000 in unpaid invoices. At Central London County Court, she claimed that the allegations of shoddy work were merely an attempt to delay or wriggle out of paying. Giving evidence, Mr. Clifford told Judge Nicholas Parfitt that he had trusted Mrs. Dawes and put his livelihood in her hands. The pub, which was renovated and refitted in a listed building during 2015, was his baby, he said. I expected Joe to deliver me a perfect restaurant, he added. The furniture was too big for the room and that was part of the problem. His barrister, James Stewart, claimed that the designer had been commissioned to create a 60-cover bar restaurant, but failed to do so. Nearly £23,000 worth of seating and £12,000 worth of tables were not fit for purpose or so bulky that they did not fit properly into the space intended, he said. Some chairs broke when people sat on them, he claimed, while tables became unsightly quickly. It now appears from Joe Francis Ltd's disclosure that she purchased cheap residential furniture from a homeware supplier, he claimed. He continued, the layout design for the restaurant as designed by Joe Francis Ltd, and installed using the large non-fitting furniture provided by the company, did not fit into the space available and only provided room for 52 covers. The entire design had to be redone by a replacement designer, with furniture that fitted and a workable table plan, to achieve the required number of covers. A wooden pergola supplied for the garden did not fit the space it was intended for, while the bar floor tiles cracked and had to be replaced, he added. In the bedrooms, Mr. Clifford expected bespoke fittings to a luxury standard, which would allow premium rates to be charged, the barrister continued. However, the furnishings were incomplete and of a poor quality, so that additional furniture and furnishings had to be purchased. The bedrooms, as designed and fitted out, were incomplete, lacking certain required furniture and generally of mediocre appearance, such that they could not be let out to clients at premium rates, he said. The wallpaper provided was not the bespoke/luxury wallpaper charged for, he added. Mrs. Dawes' furniture and layout in the restaurant had to be replaced within 5 months of her finishing work, and the floor has since been retiled, he said. It is simply not credible for her to contend, as she did previously, that the unpaid element of the £285,000 project sum was withheld to try to delay or avoid payment. It was withheld because the pub has legitimate complaints about work, goods, and materials. But James Petts, representing the designer, said it was never part of the contract that the pub should have 60 covers. He denied that her work was unsatisfactory and claimed it had been done during a chaotic refit. Many of the problems attributed to her were in fact caused by the disorganization and or excessive haste with which the works were carried out, he said. He said the floor space was reduced due to planning requirements and because of the owner's decision to rearrange the plan in order to emphasize the pub element of the business. The consequences of that was that the number of covers that could be accommodated without modification of the design fell from 62 to 52, he said. There was nothing wrong with the tables and chairs which were provided, he said, and no evidence that the chairs broke as a result of some inherent weakness. The pergola did not fit because speakers had been fitted in the courtyard which were not on the architectural drawings, while floor tiles failed because the underfloor was not properly prepared by other contractors. He continued, no intelligible explanation has ever been given as to the way in which the bedrooms were of mediocre appearance or not to a luxury standard. There is no evidence at all that the rooms could not be let out at any particular rate owing to the standard of their decoration. The bar restaurant was redesigned by Teresa Azevedo Coutinho in 2016, but the work went far beyond rectifying alleged defects in Joe Francis' work, he said. It is submitted that it is plain from considering the evidence in the round that the defendant is simply raising a cloud of meritless objections to avoid paying Joe Francis legitimate invoices, he added. Through his Cambridge restaurant, Midsummer House, Mr. Clifford has held 2 Michelin stars since 2005, and was in 2015-16 named Chef's Chef of the Year at the AA Awards. Last November, Mr. Clifford said drug dealers were operating outside Midsummer House because of a lack of police. He posted footage online of an alleged drug deal to highlight the problem after police failed to respond to his complaints. Mr. Clifford has twice been one of the winners of the BBC's annual Great British Menu competition, which sees top chefs compete against each other to serve dishes at prestigious banquets. He is now a judge on the program. Judge Parfitt will give a ruling on the case at a later date.